Hey everybody from the social network, I'm Christine Rogers and I'm just hanging out this afternoon. It's a bit slow and so I thought I would do a little video talking about continental knitting versus throwing versus, now I can't even think of the name, I just said it a minute ago and got interrupted, but a lot of different techniques to knit, and people ask me all the time, hey, what's the fastest? And I always tell people, I think that Continental is a very efficient movement. However, I think you become fast at whatever you practice. If you choose to practice nothing, then you don't naturally get fast. If you practice one over the other, you will become more fast at that than anything else. So whatever you want to practice and get good. I was listening to a song the other day, somebody who was jump roping, and the song was like, you suck until you don't. So knitting's kind of the same way. You just have to practice. You keep doing it, and then you don't suck. So let me show you a little bit about some of the things I'm talking about. I'm gonna rotate this, so excuse the adjustment here. Okay, let me just turn this a little bit. So here I've got my work, and I've got my yarn in my left hand. I've got a crochet hook here to show you, because I think when people crochet, it makes it easier to transition to continental, because we normally use our hook in our right hand and our yarn the tension is handled in our left hand. And so if you're used to doing that, then continental just turns into this. Let me get this where. So I kind of hold it the same way as if I'm crocheting. And then I just go, let me get closer. I just go into the stitch and grab that yarn that's right there. So I tend to, do you see how this yarn is just laying over my middle finger? So when I go into the stitch, it's right there for me to grab. Now, people say, hey, that's, that's fine, that's easy, but when it comes to purling, I have difficulty. So to go to a purl, right now my yarn is in the back. All I do is pick this needle up and move my yarn to the front, and you can see that. So now I'm just going to go into the stitch, push my finger down, and come out. Sorry, I got stuck. I'm going to go in, push my finger down behind the needle, and take it off. Go in, push my finger down, and come out. So purling for me is not difficult, but I'm going to say it probably takes a little bit of practice. Let me undo these pearls because I'm not doing pearls. The other thing is Portuguese knitting. So if I were to take this, I'm going to wrap this this yarn around my neck. Hold on a second. Where in Portuguese knitting, they make these pins or magnetic pins that go on your blouse, and you hook your yarn to it on your left shoulder. But what that does, this is coming off of my neck, I'm not holding it. So now it's not continental knitting, it's Portuguese knitting, but to knit, actually, here's my yarn, which is in front, that looks like I'm gonna purl, but I just go into the stitch, and instead of going to the back with my needle, I actually bring it around the front, take my thumb, wrap the needle, and go out the back. So here my yarn's still in the front. Oh, here I missed it. Hold on. I was watching the camera. So I go in, stay in the front, wrap my needle, hold your tickets. Sorry, it's hard to, I go in, wrap the needle, come through. It's almost like I'm purling, but I'm actually doing a knit stitch. So I go in as if to knit, but I stay in the front of the needle. My thumb takes this yarn and lets it go over the needle, and I bring it through. Now, if I want a purl, I bring my yarn to the front. I go in, and a lot of people Continental try and purl this technique. Wrap it with their thumb. Wrap it with their thumb, which may make Continental or using this technique a little bit easier. So there's several different things. Now, all of these stitches that I just did, none of them are of the same tension. So you have to be careful about that. But in this case, and I'm going to turn this around so I can show you this. In this particular case, this is my test pattern. It's not a test pattern, it's a Continental test. So I am actually just doing this whole little, I've already separated for sleeves. It's just the anchor tee, but I'm doing the whole thing Continental to give myself time just doing Continental and practice. I feel proficient at it, but when I'm doing blankets or doing washcloths or doing anything that's not a garment, I might knit a row in throwing and then purl a row in Continental, or knit a row in Continental and purl the normal way, and just constantly switching up my hands. I usually don't bring Portuguese knitting into it because it's not that consistent for me yet, but I can see how somebody who has trouble purling in a Continental manner could utilize the over the neck trick or pinning it to your shirt. So I hope this gives you a good look at different ways, and know that a lot of you know that I've been knitting a long while, and tension is not my problem, but tension in a technique that I don't use 100% of the time isn't consistent like the one I do. So when I finish this top, there's going to be inconsistencies, and it's going to be okay. It's going to be a shop sample. I want to show the yarn, and I just want to get the practice in. So this is my way of doing that, being patient with myself and giving myself the repetition to be able to get faster at it and to be able to get consistent at it. I hope this helps some of you. If you have any questions about Continental or any other kind of technique knitting, yell at me or email me at thesocialknitworkots@gmail.com. You guys have a great afternoon. Bye.